There's fish. What do we got? I hope y'all can hear me account of this waterfall behind me. He's fighting. My goodness. Where's he going? God, fish is fighting, folks. No wonder. I want y'all to look what a fish right here. That is a huge redbreast. I mean, that's a big one right here. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. And let's have a little fun. Well, there's the first fish of the morning, folks. It's a big redbreast sunfish. And what I caught him on is one of my favorite creek baits. And it's a little bitty rapala, or a lot of people call them rapalas. But what I'm doing today, I'm fishing with 2-pound test line, limber rod, little bitty reel, in hopes to catch several different species today. We're going to walk down this creek and see what we can catch. It's hot, it's humid, early in the morning. The sun hadn't been up very long, but it's going to get steamy today. So this is a great way to beat the heat. But anyway, let's let him go. Woo! He don't even know he's loose. Let me hit, there he goes. Let's see if we can see where he went. He went right up under that log. Let's see if y'all can see that. He did. He hid right up under that log right there. He's wondering what in the heck is going on. As y'all can see, this particular creek is very clear. The water's very clear. So I'm using a chrome bait. I'm going to start off with that this morning. It's a floater. And the reason why I'm using it is real simple, folks. It resembles the forage that's in this creek and most creeks here in North Alabama. About anything that lives in these creeks, I hit it. Real simple. If y'all can see that, there goes another one right there. I believe that's a redbreast sunfish. It's pretty good size too. But that one is still up under there. He's hiding. Now, this is just a little bitty. This bait is probably 1.5 inches long. I believe it's the smallest rapala they make. It's the floating model. Has some really small hooks on it. I would say these are probably size 10 trebles. I'm not for sure, but the hook looks a little bit smaller than an 8. Tiny, tiny. But now I'm using 2-pound test line, so I've tied a tri-lane knot, which to me is a very strong knot. And as far as the line, I'm using 2-pound test high-vis line right here. I don't think it's going to interfere with us getting any bites. A little Daiwa Reverse LT 1000, and that's it. So as far as working the bait, all I do is cast it out and keep it right up under the surface. Kind of work it like a jerk bait, kinda. Little twitches like that, and every once in a while pause, and a lot of times that's when they'll just eat it. But an aggressive fish will eat it as you're working it along. So see, like, let's see what we got. What is that? That's a little bitty bass. Quit. I believe that's a little spotty bass, I believe. Now he's little. But sometimes working this little bait steady, twitching it, taking up your slack, twitching it, just a constant steady is a lot better in these creeks, because these fish are generally active. And the forage that they're feeding on looks just exactly are very close to what we're fishing with right now. This bait ain't gonna go but like 4 or 5 inches under the surface, folks, and that's perfect for these shallow creeks like this. Sometimes I'll work it right on the surface. If I do, most of the time it's early in the morning, just after daybreak or late in the afternoon. It seems to me like they hit this bait a lot better. We're gonna walk down this creek and I'm gonna look for fish. I have my glasses on. I can see down in the water perfectly. We're gonna look for fish. We're gonna look for deep holes. Deep holes is the key in these creeks, especially this one. This one right here goes forever, and it's a shallow creek for the most part, but there's a few deep holes on down that should be holding some pretty good fish. I don't see any Sasquatch prints at all, or no sign of a Sasquatch. This is supposedly supposed to be Sasquatch territory right here, but I just ain't never seen no Sasquatch on it. Well, no, let's try this. One never knows. Ain't very deep. Well, it don't have to be. There's a fish. My goodness, this could be the best fish yeah. This could be the biggest fish that I've caught so far. It is. Cutting up too. Not a giant, but it is for today. Let's keep him out of the rock. We do just got 2-pound test line. Yeah, he's trying his best to get in the rock. That's a little small jaw. Quit. Or I believe it is. Come on back here. Quit, my goodness. Let me show my folks how pretty you are. Would you quit? Oh, don't you get that hook in me. Stop it. Yeah. Oh my. I'm a-trying, folks. Yeah. Little small jowl. Sure enough. I didn't even think I was going to catch a fish right here. I see a lot of green algae on the bottom, and it's very, very shallow, but I'm a little surprised, but that's the best fish that I've caught. Right there. He's probably 12 inches long. But he's a beautiful specimen. Let's let him go. We'll let him go right over here so we can see him swim off, maybe. But I know what he's going to do. He's going to shoot off like a rocket, ain't he, folks? No doubt. But let's see if we can see. Well, doing right opposite of what I thought he was going to do. And he was out of the water for no time. There he goes. I guess he's mad. Look at him. Boy, that water's clear, ain't it? That kind of made my heart beat just a little bit, folks. Look at there, what a... Can y'all see that? What a big snake carcass right there. Let's catch another one. Clarence can't, because he's sitting there watching a little house on the prairie chewing tobacco, spitting old juice in a can and laughing all day long. He can't catch them because, well, he ain't out here. I've walked a pretty good piece right here. Now here's a pretty looking place right here. Whether there's any fish in it or not, I don't know. But it is a pretty place. Oh my goodness. There's one. He's little. Oh my goodness, what a tiny little smallmouth. Look here, folks. That's just a little bitty, quit. Little bitty smallmouth. What I've done right here, I've went through several different baits, and I'm gonna be honest. Now this is honesty right here. The only baits that they're gonna bite, it seems to be Rapalas. That's a baby smallmouth. Let's let him go. Right here. So I stepped up in one size bigger than the smallest Rapala they make. Now there's numbers on these Rapalas, and I don't know what they are. The reason why, I fish a lot of different artificials, and I have trouble remembering all the numbers on these different artificials. But this bait right here is probably 2.5 inches long, 2.25 inches long. It's a little bit longer than one that we just cut off. And they seem to be reacting to it pretty good, but I'm having to work it quick and erratic. But we're gonna have to move from this spot because I've tried so many different artificials that they've become skittish. Some creeks that I fish, that's exactly what happens. They get skittish like that when it comes to artificials. But now, I'm gonna tell you something. If I had some minnows about that long, it would be a different situation. There is a substitute for live bait, but there's nothing better than live bait, what they actually feed on. But we're gonna walk on up here and see what else we can catch, excuse me, with this Rapala. Woo! Golly bum. Marshall, that's a snaky looking place right in here. These old roots and stuff in here like this. You better watch out for snakes, because they could be already one. One never knows. On it. Let's walk right down here. This looks like a good place to maybe catch one. There's one. Another little bitty bass. But they're reacting to this bait. They're reacting to it. That's a little spotted bass, or it looks like it to me. Creek bass, quit. A lot of folks don't know this, but creek bass will actually interbreed. And they can do it successfully sometimes in some creeks, but that, yeah, I believe that's a spotted bass, don't y'all? Let's let him go. I should have felt for a tooth patch, but I recognize those diamond patterns. I'd say that was a little spotted bass. But come on, fish. I'm seeing quite a few fish. Most of them are not reacting to this bait right here. And I usually, oh my goodness, I catch a lot of fish on this bait normally. There he is. I finally got him. Y'all see that? That's how hard these fish are to catch out of this creek. I'm not kidding with artificials. There were 3 bluegill this size. Quit. This is just a big bluegill, creek bluegill. Coming after this, they didn't want to commit, so I made them commit. But that's a pretty big one coming out of a creek. I worked it and worked it quick. Yeah, in this clear water like this, they're used to chasing down stuff, folks, and there's 2 or 3 more of them out there. They're big. They're pretty good sized bluegill. But that is a pretty bluegill. No parasites or anything. This is extremely clear water. This would be great water right here to eat fish out of. Let's let him go. Y'all see? Maybe he did. He went off like a bullet. Oh my, where'd that fish come from? Where'd that? Went up under a rock. I was fixing to move, looking off, and that fish hit that. My goodness, what a... red breast sunfish. Now that was a surprise. I'm usually aware of it all times. In my trance type state that I talk about a lot, but that fish come out of nowhere. He must have come out from under that rock and smacked it, because I did not see that fish behind that bait. My goodness, that sort of scared me. But that's a red breast sunfish, no doubt. When they decide to attack, they attack. Very aggressive. Let's let him go. Very aggressive species. Especially those bigger ones. All right. Sorry about that, folks, but that excited me. It was just bam. I was reeling it in and make another cast, and he come out from under this rock right here. Right in here somewhere, probably this one. It's on up in the day, and these fish will hide. They'll get up under these little flat rocks, ledges, like this one right here. See that rod tip? It's going way back up in there, and they'll hide. Some of them will. That was cool. It's amazing how many fish you can see if you'll just look. If you'll just take your time, walk down through here and look, you can see all kinds of fish, different species, a lot of different minnows, different kinds of minnow species that I don't know. I'm not an expert with minnows. I just know that I like to use them for live bait. Let's see what else is in that shade. It's not very deep over there. It might be knee deep. It's just a little hole right here. Right up under that shade. We'll make a couple more casts and then we'll move on. God. Look here. What do we got? That's a panfish of some sort. Oh, it's a rock bass. No, I mean a green sunfish. Look at there. Little green, he's a stump, ain't he? He didn't give that bait to settle or nothing. The rings to settle after I made a cast. I mean, as soon as it hit, he hit it. Let me put it that way. I must have hit him right in the head. Let's let him go. He's gonna go back up under a shade. He says, I don't want to get out there in the sun. I want right where I was at. That's what he was saying. Well, folks, I got a long ways to walk. I've come way down here. The fishing was so-so. It wasn't real good at all. It's probably the barometric pressure. I don't have any idea. I didn't check it, but that makes a big difference when it comes to fishing. But the main thing was to target panfish with these old baits right here, Rapalas. They work as good as anything, although there's a lot of different baits that catches them. I mean, they make them every day. I just love that bait because I got a lot of good memories connected to that from childhood. That's an old bait. Works in these creeks. And another thing is, it is super hot right now, folks, but this water is super cool. This is another great way to beat the heat, no doubt. It just makes me want to just lay down in here and go to sleep. I'm not kidding. It's a blessing to be out here. I want to say, God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments. Hey. Hey man, whoa. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good.